This Carcharodontosaurus spawn location guide will show you where to find the brand new Carcharodontosaurus on every Ark map where it can spawn. First, I'll show you the spawn maps of every map where you can find a Carcharodontosaurus. And after the quick overview, I'm going to show you map and GPS coordinates for the top 10 places to look for Carcharodontosaurus on any map in Ark. I'll show you landmarks and give you tips for how to quickly and easily search for your very own Giga Killer on Fjordur and Lost Island, which are the best maps to find a Carcharodontosaurus on. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let's get started. So first of all, Carchas don't spawn at all on Scorched Earth, Aberration, or Genesis 1, so don't bother looking on any of those maps. They share a spawn location with Gigas and R-Gigas, so anywhere you can find a Giga, you can find a Carcha there too. Now if you see a Giga, you can kill it to speed up the respawn and try again to get a Carcharodontosaurus to spawn in that location instead. But now let's quickly go over all the spawn locations where you can search for a Carcharodontosaurus on every map in order of release. It may take several days to find a Carcharodontosaurus on the map you play on, so feel free to bookmark this video and come back to it for reference every time you search. We'll start with the island map. Now you can find Carcharodontosaurus very rarely on any of the biggest mountain peaks on the north side of the map, but they are a much rarer spawn than on some maps. There will usually only be one Carchara or Giga on the map at any given time. The center map is actually a really bad map to search for Carcharodontosaurus because they only spawn on the North Volcanic Island and the Northwest Mountain, and both of these spawn zones are very rare to ever see a Giga or Carcharodontosaurus. They can spawn there eventually, but it's very rare. Now Ragnarok has a couple more Carcharodontosaurus spawn locations, including the highlands, the western jungles, and the desert, but they are still pretty rare or very rare spawns anywhere that they can spawn on this map. I personally recommend searching the highlands because I see more Gigas there than other places on the map, and it's much easier to spot them in the big open plains. Now Extinction is another map that only has very rare Carcharodontosaurus spawns, and you can only find them occasionally around the southern and western border of the snow biome. Now Valguero is a little bit better with 3 Carcharodontosaurus spawn zones in the northern side of the map, but all of these locations are still relatively rare chance to find a Carcharodontosaurus. Now Crystal Isles is one of the worst maps to find a Carcharodontosaurus on because they only spawn rarely in the southern desert south of the Wyvern Trench, or very rarely in the Fire Forest, which are both very dangerous areas to look for them in. Now Genesis Part 2 has Carcharodontosaurus spawn zones on all 4 corners of each side of the map, but even with 8 possible spawn zones, they will only very rarely spawn at any of these zones, so it still takes a while to find one. So now let's talk about the 2 best maps to find the Carcharodontosaurus on, Fjordur and the Lost Island. Now Fjordur is an excellent map to search for Carcharodontosaurus spawns because it has 3 spawn locations which are all easy to find and easy to check every time you log onto the server. And all of these spawn locations are common to medium rarity, so there's a pretty decent chance you will find a Carcharodontosaurus or Giga at one of these locations every time you go searching for them. And since I recommend looking for them on these 2 maps, I'll show you a much more detailed spawn location guide for Fjordur and Lost Island, and I'll show you map and GPS coordinates and give you some good landmarks for where to look for Gigas and Carcharodontosaurus. Now, our first Carcharodontosaurus spawn location on Fjordur is a green rarity, which means they're very common to spawn Gigas or Carcharos, and this is probably the spot I've found the most Gigas anywhere on Ark in a single place. They always spawn right around this little valley, and about 75% of the time I find a Giga here. Now, the easiest way to find this spot is to go to the green obelisk right on the edge of the redwoods right here on the map, and you can actually see this blue lake on the map of Fjordur. And if you look straight towards the west, you're going to see this waterfall in this little trench going up from this lake. We head west a little further, about halfway to the fall biome back there, and then go straight north from there. You can actually see this mountain on the Fjordur map. And that's going to take you to this exact spot. There's the GPS and map coordinates right there. And this is where you can find tons of Gigas and Carcharodontosaurus. This Carcharodontosaurus spawn location on Fjordur is pretty common. It's yellow rarity, which means there is a decent chance you'll find one here too. Yeah, he is mad. So if you find this mountain, it's got a bunch of gold on top. It's directly south of the redwoods, and it's got all these pillars. And then look directly south of that. This whole valley is a great spot to find these. Now, it's directly north of the red obelisk. If you draw a line from the red obelisk to the green obelisk, it's almost exactly in the middle there. So it's real easy to find this valley. And this is another of the best places in Ark to find a Carcharodontosaurus. Now, the last Fjordur Carcharodontosaurus spawn location is probably the easiest to find because it's right here on all of these oil flats on the volcanic island. So if you look for the red obelisk, it's on the southeast island, and just go straight towards the west from the red obelisk, you're going to find all of these lava flows coming down from the volcano, and there is this huge set of oil fields right here. And anywhere on these oil fields is a great place to find Carcharodontosaurus, and there's the map and GPS coordinates right there. Now, the second best map to find Carcharodontosaurus on is the Lost Island map, and there are 9 different spawn zones for Carcharodontosaurus, but only about 1 to 3 can be on the map at any given time. And don't forget, every Giga uses up a Carcharodontosaurus spawn. So here's some landmarks and easy ways to find each of these spawn locations so you can check all of them every day. Now, the best place in all of Ark to find a Carcharodontosaurus is on the Lost Island map. If you head directly south of the red obelisk, south of the volcanic region, you're going to find this huge open plain right next to the redwood forest. And this whole plain is covered in Giga spawns, which are also Carcharodontosaurus spawns. There are 4 spawn points on this plain, and all around this area is a great place to look for Carcharodontosaurus. I've actually seen 2 Gigas and a Titanosaur in the same area right around here, and it's real common to get multiple huge dinos spawning, and there is a much better chance to find Carcharodontosaurus in this spot than anywhere on any map in all of Ark. So this is your best place to start looking. And there's about 3 spawn locations right around this big area of land, but then if we head southwest just a little bit, there's this tiny little island right next to the swampy area right here. And this island also has a decent chance to spawn a Carcharodontosaurus right on top, right around this area. Now, if we head directly north of those plains and look to the right side of the map in the east, there is this little island that sticks out to the east of the red obelisk and volcanic region. And this place actually has 2 Giga spawn locations. So there is a southern half of the island and it stretches up to the north, and this little mountainous area can actually get a Carcharodontosaurus spawning right around here. And then a little bit to the north we have this big mountain, and at the base of this mountain is another Giga spawn which can spawn Carcharodontosaurus right around here. Another one of the best spawn locations for Carcharodontosaurus and Gigas is directly south of the blue obelisk. And you'll see the castle on that mountain up there, and if we go a little bit further south towards the coast, you're going to see this valley right here. It's got a big cave that goes right through the valley, and around here you oftentimes will find Gigas or Carcharos. Now, this spawn location is not the best place to find Carcharodontosaurus, but they do occasionally spawn here. So I am here at the southern tip of the Arctic area, right where it meets the redwoods, and there's this huge waterfall coming down from the redwood forest, and if we follow that to where it hits the ocean, there's this little inlet on the edge of the Coral Sea, right here, and you can kind of see on the map where that little bit of water juts into the land right there. And at this exact spot, you can actually occasionally find Gigas and Carcharodontosaurus. It's just really hard to spot them until they spot you, and at that point, it's probably too late. but it's definitely worth checking here because they do occasionally spawn. Now, the last Carcharodontosaurus spawn location I'll show you on Lost Island is here on the northern coast. Now, if we look to where the volcano and all of the lava meets the ocean, follow that along towards the jungle. Right in between is this little mountain on the coast. And supposedly, according to Ark Wiki, this is also a Giga spawn location where you can find Carcharodontosaurus. But I've never personally seen a Giga here, so I'm going to show you this anyway, and let me know in the comments if you've been able to find a Giga or a Carcharodontosaurus right around this location. I would love to hear from you guys, and I'll go ahead and pin a comment and let you know what we find out after all the comments have come in. Now, I hope this guide helps you find your very own Carcharodontosaurus quickly and easily, and if it did help you, please give it a thumbs up so it can help other people too. And drop a comment, let me know where you find the most Carcharodontosaurus out of all of the spawn locations I've showed you in this guide, and keep an eye out because I'll have more guides coming out very soon to help you tame your very own Giga Killer. Thanks for watching this video from the Ark Survival Guide. Please give it a thumbs up, share it around, and leave a comment. That helps us so much, and we love hearing from you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for all notifications so you don't miss our next video full of tricks that will help you win at Ark. While you wait, here's more videos you can watch right now, and we will see you in the next video.